Hello, today I'm going to be talking about 3 different albums that I feel fall under 3 different categories, which are good, bad, and just disappointing. But these 3 albums all have something in common with each other, and that just being that they have the American flag on the cover art, because you know, it was like 4th of July last week. But anyways, let's move on to the first category of whenever 2 powerhouses of their own genre came together, they made one of the best jazz rap albums of all time, and that is Sour Soul. Sour Soul is the 2015 collab album between Wu-Tang Clan alumni Ghostface Killah and Canadian-based experimental jazz ensemble Bad Bad Not Good. While being known and beloved by underground hip-hop fans, this album never really got the shine it truly deserved, but it might be due to another release that came out less than a month later, To Pimp a Butterfly, by Kendrick Lamar. But with that being said, there really are not many flaws in this 33-minute long masterclass in lyricism. Unlike another album later in this video, Ghostface Killah is able to deliver a cool and concise conversation about his problems with America, revolving around government agencies like the CIA and FBI, to the drug epidemic and its impact on local communities, and so much more that you can honestly only unpack if you give this album a couple of listens. The features on this album are very strong, as we have the underground legends Danny Brown on track 3, 6 Degrees, and the late MF Doom on track 9, Ray Gun, which also marks the first Doomstarks collab since Victory Laps in 2011, as well as other features from, I don't know how to say this. As well as other features from a Slum Village alumni, LZ, I think that's how you say it, please let me know if I'm wrong, and Tree. As mentioned before, this is a collab album with Bad Bad Not Good, and they made sure we did not forget this while listening, because we are blessed with beautiful jazz songs on the intro track, Mono, track 5, Stark's Reality, and the outro track, Experience, which really rounds out this album's palette. If you haven't checked this modern classic out yet, I would highly recommend doing so. Putting Sour Soul under a category that's just called good really does not do this album justice at all. So let's move on to the
actually just shit on my last chick, and she has for my ex-Lex.
Revival was the first album we saw from quote-unquote rap legend after a 5-year-long wait from the release of Marshall Mathers LP 2. And I'm just kinda gonna get this out of the way right now. I low-key liked this album when it came out, but not anymore. However, I still do have this weird sense of nostalgia whenever I go back to listen to this album. But a big reason why I like this album so much when it originally dropped was because of the rollout. It was honestly a pretty creative rollout for fans to interact with, as it was treated as a sort of scavenger hunt, starting with an Instagram post that Paul Rosenberg made promoting Yellow Wolf's album Trial by Fire, where you can see an advertisement for a pharmaceutical company named Revival, and the E in the Revival was like flipped backwards because, you know, Eminem, blah blah blah. And this post only started a wild goose chase that only diehard fans could uncover. Fast forwarding through the rollout to the release of the first of 2 singles that was met with mixed reviews, Walk on Water featuring Beyonce. Seeing this feature was a welcome surprise, as having an A-lister to be on the intro track and first single to your first album in 5 years really sets the bar very high. But as we all know now, the standard was set in vain after the project dropped. The feature list on this album is genuinely one of the worst of all time. Like, why is this rap legend that has connections to any person he could possibly want to work with, and he actively chooses to get Fresher, Ed Sheeran, Alicia Keys, ex-ambassadors, Skylar Grey, Kehlani, and Pink? It's honestly just disrespectful to the culture that he claims to be so involved in. But on top of this horrid feature list, the producer list is literally just as bad, but not bad in the way that's like the producers themselves are like bad, but the beats that they made are horrible, as it consists of Rick Rubin, the producer known for not knowing how to produce, Skylar Grey, Denon, Emily Haney, Mark Batson, Frequency, Alias, Just Blaze, Alex the Kid, Fredwreck, Rock Mafia, Hit Boy, Illa the Producer, Scram Jones, DJ Khalil, and Eminem's typical repetitive and lifeless self-production. I made sure to say everyone's name that was involved with this just to let everyone watching watching know who to blame for this dumpster fire that tries to be perceived as an album. Moving on to the subject matter of this album, a lot of it actually does have Eminem stating his problems with America, with the most notable topics being Eminem's take on gun control laws, the justice system, and the at the time US President Donald Trump. And it's like, yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Marshall Mathers, but like this information is just being conveyed in the most instantly dated way possible. But alas, I really have no idea what else I could say about this album without just repeating every other person's grievances. So I think we should just move on to something that isn't as bad. Pink Tape was honestly one of my most anticipated albums of the year, and that takes a lot for me to do, especially for an artist like Lil Uzi Vert, which I'm not really the biggest fan of to begin with. This album's rollout has been one of the strongest that I've ever seen, with them installing that $24 million pink diamond in their forehead just to have it removed due to it causing literal consistent bleeding, to releasing the 9-track EP Red Plus White in July of 2022, a year after announcing the name of Pink Tape, to the beautifully shot, animated, and edited trailer that released on June 26th, with it garnering over 1.8 million views and 137,000 likes already at the time of the recording. And that's literally not even close to all the promo that was done for this project. With all this work being put into the promotion for this album, you would think Lil Uzi Vert would match that energy with the actual album's material, but as you can see from it being in the disappointing section of this video, it was disappointing. This album sees Lil Uzi Vert trying a bunch of new styles that come off as kind of just trying to create a shift in the genre in a similar way to Whole Lotta Red. Not to compare, but it's an easy one to make. With Uzi coming through with their quote-unquote new sound, they bring in a list of features that are really able to capture this rock star image that is being shown off here. From the low-key murderer Travis Scott, the Queen Nicki Minaj, the iconic 2010s emo group Bring Me the Horizon, the Japanese metal band Baby Metal, and Don Tolliver, which honestly probably has one of the best performances out of all these features. Every feature on this project is honestly a solid pick because I feel like they all represent a different side of Uzi, from their career to their personality. My only gripe, however, has to be no Cardi! Repeat, no Cardi at all! What the heck? Moving on from the features, the subject matter on this project does not really differ from the typical Lil Uzi Vert album, except with the addition of them opening up on their gender identity and the issues people have with it, as seen most blatantly on track 2, Suicide Doors. My favorite part of this project has to be the production featured here, with my standout tracks here being track 6, X2, produced by Cliff Shane, track 15, Just Wanna Rock, produced by MC Vert and Synthetic, and track 19, Pluto to Mars, produced by Brandon Finessin and Deckard 3000. And yes, you heard that right, that was track 19 of 26. I just really hope this project kills the recent trend of having super long albums, as it really just takes away from a full album's experience. At the end of the day, Pink Tape ended up being a disappointment for me and a lot of others, but it's apparent that it was an important and valuable project in their discography, simply for their self-expression throughout the album. But allegedly, we're gonna be getting another album from Lil Uzi Vert soon, so hopefully that ends up actually being better than Pink Tape. But honestly, whatever that project is, it has like about a 50% chance of dropping, as you know how reliable rappers at Lil Uzi Vert's size are. But yeah, that is the good, bad, and the disappointing of albums with American flags on the album cover. I know it's a dumb idea, but I just wanted something to do. But yeah, there's more where this came from coming really soon, ideally. Me and my friend are also holding an online music festival on July 22nd at 4 p.m. Eastern. The link to it will be in the description, and we have a really cool lineup of people, and I hope you come. Bye.